the still of the night, I think of you. My heart beats with every thought of you. You're the one I can't let go. In your arms I find my home. Love, sweet love, it's you I'm dreaming of every.
He sat down. "Penny for your thoughts? I am glad you found your sister," she smiled at him. "Me too." He was well aware that was not what she was thinking about, but he was ready to go with the flow. It would take time for her to adjust to her new life, Helen commented. Yeah, but every medical help would be at her disposal. So she turned to him. Is Rose going to adopt her? Who is going to raise her? I don't know. I don't want to burden my mom with raising another child at her age. I also know I may not have another choice. I would soon go back to England. I can't take her with me. I would never have the time. You are going back? When? 4 weeks at most. Helen heaved a sigh of relief. That meant he would be out of harm's way soon enough. Still, there were others she needed to protect as well. Are you going to miss me? Too much. England is only 6 hours away. You can even come and go same day. She laughed. After paying a hefty amount for plane tickets? No, sir. One day won't just cut it. No need for plane tickets. You take off from Uche's airstrip in one of our private jets. Wow, the life. Welcome to my world, babe, he said and drew her to him for a much-needed kiss. She melted against him, all the miserable thoughts of living vanishing from her mind. Chuck jerked awake, certain that something had woken him. He stopped and listened, but he didn't find anything or anyone. He stretched and sat up. He expected to find Helen beside him and was very disappointed he didn't see her. He recalled her insisting on sleeping in her own bed. He understood her reluctance to share a bed with him. It was too much of a temptation being that close to each other, almost naked, and not touch, not cuddle, nor kiss, knowing this would do nothing but feed the powerful need and want for each other they are barely managing to keep at bay. He heaved a sigh and wondered again how and why he agreed to her foolish idea of abstinence till she regained her memories. Did it really matter what she remembered, who she was, or what she did as long as they loved each other? He got up from the bed. This was an opportunity to prove to himself he wasn't his mother. Who would have thought he could abstain from sex for weeks? It was a feat he had not managed to achieve since he started having sex again as a grown man. But with Helen, it seemed all the impossible had become impossible. Chuck gently pushed open the door leading to Miracle's new suite. The girl was not on the bed, and he frowned and looked around for her. He found her sleeping soundly on the bare floor. He felt that uncontrollable rage for their mother and for the pastor tried to overtake him again, but he held on to it. Yes, the man and the woman who brought her into this world may be monsters, but he was going to take this victory. That he was able to find her before they turned her into one. He stooped low and lifted her up, and she wrapped her hands around him trustingly in her sleep. He gently put her down on the bed and gently planted a kiss on her forehead. He stood there, watching the peaceful rise and fall of her chest as she slept, and a feeling of gratitude overcame him. He found her. He found her safe and alive. He found her before Pat could introduce her to prostitution. He found her before her father could turn her into a psychopath. He wasn't really a praying man. How could a man pray with all the lust in his heart for Helen? He chuckled at that, but still he knew he owed Heavenly Father all the gratitude he could muster. He put off the light and left the room quietly. He wanted to jump and shout for joy. Suddenly, he knew this pure, unadulterated joy, and he wondered where it was coming from. No, he concluded, he knew. The joy came from knowing that he was not perfect, yet everything he had ever asked for, he had gotten. Love, talent, family, a lost sister. He decided he was following Emma to church the next Sunday. And then he bumped into someone. He involuntarily reached out to steady whoever it was. Oh wow, what a chanced meeting, IJ queued and tried to hold on to him. He let her go immediately like he had been scalded. What are you doing skulking the passage this time of the night? Chuck asked angrily, but minding the volume of his voice. I could ask you some question? This is my house. I don't have to answer to you. He walked past her. Chuck, she called quietly. He stopped. Don't hate me. I can't help the way I feel. He turned to look at her, the rage threatening again. I don't hate you. But if hate is detesting your greed and selfishness and your lack of moral in thinking I would ever have anything to do with you, my best friend's girl, yes, he tried to leave again. You would love to believe that, wouldn't you? But are you saying if I strip naked in front of you, you wouldn't be moved? He fully turned to look at her. Please don't. You would only end up embarrassing yourself and disrespecting the man who cares for you. And then she pulled her nightgown over her head. You were saying? Chuck couldn't believe his eyes. He couldn't believe this was actually happening. He couldn't believe how much he wanted to strangle her, not just because of the tremendous rage he felt, but for Stanley's sake. He looked at her from head to toe. Yes, she was a very beautiful woman, but it took more than beauty for him to be moved these days. Thanks to Helen, he scoffed his disgust and turned to walk away, and then met the murderous face of Stanley. Chuck stared into the murderous face of his best friend, and for the first time in his life, he felt true fear. They stared at each other, Stanley looking fierce and angry enough to murder, and Chuck speechless. And then IJ's sobs cut into the deadly silence. I tried to tell you, babe. Your friend won't let me be, always trying to... Shut up your filthy mouth. Leave my sight. I never want to see you again. Stanley roared. His anger seemed to give Chuck a little hope that maybe he witnessed the whole thing. Darling, you can't possibly believe that I was trying to seduce Chuck. I mean, IJ, so help me. If I hear your voice again, pack your stuff from my house before the day is over. But IJ began. It's no use, IJ. The truth is out, Chuck said. I don't want to hear your voice either, best friend. Let's not do this here. Miracle is sleeping. Come on then, lead the way. Chuck began moving downstairs towards the living room. Uche stretched and woke up. He loosened his hold on his wife's waist and kissed her shoulders, then her neck, and back to her shoulder. Then he heard it, the slight knock. He slowly got up from the bed and pulled on his boxers and walked up to the door and found Collins at the door. Is everything all right? It's Chuck and Stanley. I think they're about to fight. IJ? Collins nodded. I will be down in a minute. Mama woke up at that instant. Where are you going? Go back to sleep. And he left her further with her staring at the door with confusion. Chuck stopped when he reached the living room and sat down. He chanced a look at Stanley. How long were you standing there? I am asking all the questions, he said coldly. Chuck shrugged. How long has this been going on? What do you mean how long? Chuck got to his feet. If this is going to turn into Chuck being a womanizer, then I'm out of here. It's a simple enough question, Chuck. How long have I been betraying you with your girlfriend? The answer is never, best friend. How long has my girlfriend been trying to seduce you? Stanley shouted. Chuck calmed down a bit. I am sorry. I should have told you before now, but the time was never right. How long? He shouted again. Right from the first time she set her eyes on me. 2 years? 2 years? I tried to tell you, but you made it clear what you thought of me, and so this is your revenge? Chuck heaved a sigh. I am sorry, Stanley, but your girlfriend told me to be another case of Joseph and Potiphar's wife if I ever told you, and I wasn't sure whose words you would believe. I am your best friend in spite of all. You think I don't know you? Deep down? So you let me play the fool instead and laughed behind my back? I never laughed. Some best friend you are. Don't you dare question that, Chuck growled. Uche entered at that exact time. What is going on here? People are sleeping. Did you know about it too? Uche looked from Chuck to Stanley. He told you. So I was the only one left in the dark? I see it now. I got to know by accident that honestly we are going to tell you. When? Perhaps when I had already married her, had 3 kids, or maybe when I'm a grandfather. I didn't think you were that serious with her. Not that serious? With her? Bring down your voice, Uche cautioned. I have been living with her for close to 2 years, and you didn't think I was serious with her? Stanley was silent for a minute while his friends searched for words to say. I thought you got my back, he began again. That I could rely on you. You would let me know if I was going wrong, making a mistake, or being played for a fool. I guess I would always be the third wheel when it comes to the two of you. You are brothers first. Stop! Stop right there. I warned you several times about her. With sarcasm? In jest? Or with anger? What was I supposed to think? I thought that if there was any truth in all you implied, you would be my best friend and tell me. Tell me clearly. I am sorry I didn't. Stanley, a female voice called softly and calmly. He looked up and saw Helen and Mma. Is it possible that you could all discuss this when tempers are down? Mma said. There is a traumatized girl sleeping. This is not good for her, Helen reminded them. Let's all go back to sleep and talk about it in the morning. Mma continued softly. I am sorry, Mma, Helen. I love and respect you too, but I can't stand the faces of the men in your lives for another moment. He gave them one last look of disdain and left. Stanley, Mma called. Let him be. That's the best thing to do when he's like that, Uche said. Isn't it too late for him to be driving this time of the night in anger? His house is a few blocks away, and this estate is safe, Chuck went to the window. Chuck sat down after a while. I feel very relieved. Relieved? With the way he just left? He looked like he's never going to speak to either of you again, Helen said worriedly. Uche chuckled. We've had worse fights and got through them. Chuck smiled. We have come such a long way to let something as insignificant as this tear us apart. This insignificant thing we'll be living too? It's late, IJ. I think you should wait till morning, Mma advised. Don't pretend that you're not all drunk with happiness. The much-hated IJ is finally gone. It was your choice, IJ. Don't blame anyone else. And listen to Mma. It's too late to go anywhere. Well, I have to go. And just maybe I might salvage my relationship. Don't bother. Chuck got to his feet. Take this from more than 2 decades of friendship. Stanley never forgives a betrayal or being played for a fool. That means he won't ever forgive the lot of you two. I just smiled sweetly. It's different. Deep inside him, he understands why we didn't say anything to him, which is why he drove my Ferrari home. He gave you everything, love, fidelity, which is no small thing coming from him, class, luxury, and was even thinking of marrying you. You threw all that away out of greed and selfishness. Maybe now you would begin to understand the kind of man you had, but lost. I just sat down as it all began to dawn on her. I don't know what we did to deserve these kind and gentle women, but contrary to what they said, my brother and I never want to see you anywhere near this family ever again. He drew Helen to her feet and turned to go upstairs. Uche followed with Uma right behind them. IJ picked up her phone and began to sob. She opened a taxi app but was shaking with her sobs.
In the still of the night, I think of you. My heart beats with every thought of you. You're the one I can't let go. In your arms I find my home. Love, sweet love, it's you I'm dreaming